So if you've been keeping up with the community tab, you know that your boy is moving right now. Where to, you might say? I don't know. I'll let you know once I find out about that. I hate moving, and that's where we go into the anime trivia for today about hate. What is your least favorite arc from OG Naruto? Me personally, I'm gonna have to say it's the bug arc, whenever Shino and them went to go find the bug to try to find Sasuke right after he left the village. Even though we did get to see Hinata do her thing, this is probably my least favorite arc. But in today's video, we're gonna be talking about something else that a lot of people hate, solo queuing. So I'm going to be giving y'all some tips about how to solo queue in the game. I'm going to do my best to stay away from a lot of the generic tips that most people give you. I'm going to try to give you some things that you probably haven't heard before. But if this is something you think you might be interested in, stay tuned to the end of the video. If you've been here before and you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, do all those nice things. And let's go ahead and hop into this content.
Just to lay out your own domain. Way too deep. Say that was the best you can do, Austin. Iki ga kusei.
So I didn't mention it in the beginning, but the Discord is up and running. So if y'all want to join that, the link's gonna be in the description, and in there, you know, we can talk about strikers, anime, anything that y'all want. Hey, I'm just trying to build a community with y'all, so make sure you join if you're interested in that. But when we get into these tips, the first tip is going to be run counters to the cheesy ultimates. And what I mean is, depending on the type of match you're in, whether it's flag, base, attack, you know that there's certain ultimates that people run. You know, if you're running attack battle, at least one person's gonna have infinite Tsukuyomi. So run something that can counter, preferably something that's going to help your team. So while Susanoo armor does protect you, it doesn't help your team. So maybe if you're running attack type, running something like Koto would be good, you know, to save it for whenever they do infinite Tsukuyomi. Similar to when you're doing flag battle. We just did a video over how to counter Koto. In flag battle, people use Koto a lot because it reverses your controls and then they can run off with the flag. And a good counter for this would be saving up the infinite Tsukuyomi, or also the Karma Linchpin, or also using the hit and miss. And then when it comes to base battle, as far as when you don't really have to coordinate your ults too much with base battle, the main things you need to worry about is being able to survive and, you know, being able to help your team. But run counters, and not only counters to ultimates. We've been doing counters in all these videos. That's literally what this channel is a lot, you know, tips and counters. So make sure you use these counters when you're in matches, especially when you're solo queuing, because it's going to allow you to, you know, better affect, you know, do the objective and stuff like that. Breaking Truth Seeker orbs and Sand Shield. Know the counters and know how to run them. And I didn't mention this in the beginning. Shout out to my man Connor. He's basically the one that kind of recommended this video. He was asking for a good defense build, you know, to run while you're solo queuing. And basically, I'm going to give you that later on in the video. What's one of my favorite defense builds that I like to run whenever, you know, I'm trying to counter a bunch of things. But also, so we go into tip number 2. Nerf/target the healer. Now, depending on the team, they might be trying to prevent you from getting to the healer, but even you just, you know, constantly being on the healer and trying to get them, this is going to prevent them from being able to heal. One of my favorite builds to run with this is going to be, you know, the Toad Oil Bombs with Hazan Strike. This is going to steal their substitutions, and it's going to steal their jutsu. So target the healer, make it harder for the healer to just focus on healing the team. And you can also use things for attack types, things like Wood Dragon and Octo Hug. And when you go to range types, really you only have 1,000 Needles of Death, but you can also use the new ninja tool, the Thunderous Needles, to set up combos. But target the healer, get the healer out of the way, especially if the team isn't protecting the healer. Once you take out the other team's healer, a lot of times, especially when you're playing randoms, the whole team starts to fall apart. Tip number 3 is pretty simple. Have a scroll capture build. Now, the scrolls don't really matter too much when you're doing, like, I guess I'd say flag maybe, and maybe base. They really come into play whenever it's attack battle. Really, when it's attack battle, you want to have at least one build that allows you to get scrolls. So, you know, if you're running healer, I know it's boring. It's boring to always have to be the team helper. But if you're running healer, have Water Pillar or Truth Seeker orbs on, because that's a good thing to get you know, to grab the scrolls. Whereas, you know, if you're running a defense type, maybe domed wall or maybe Susanoo armor or even demon hunter, things like this is going to help you. Range types have a little bit hard when it comes to trying to, you know, maintain the scrolls, but you can still use hiding in ash or angelic advent. There's things that you can use, or also, you know, heavenly hand power, but have something to get the scroll. So this next tip is, you know, something that some people follow, some people don't, but this one I would say, have your builds laid out by the type of battle you're doing. What I mean is, you know, you get 4 builds for each palette. I'd have 1 palette for attack, 1 palette for base battle, and 1 palette for flag battle. I really don't care about barrier battle, so my 4th palette is usually what I use for survival mode, you know, when I'm going into pits. But have, if you can, try to have it rainbow. Rainbow for each palette, for each, you know, battle type. If you're going to be solo queuing, there are some people that only like to run certain roles, but really, you mainly just need to make sure that you have some type of healer class on each of your palette. So this is going to be a little bit of a contradiction to one of the other tips, because, you know, I'm going to tell you to trust your teammates, but even though you're trusting your teammates, have some type of healing jutsu no matter what build you're running. Whether it's emergency exit or the shadow clone tool or actually having a healing jutsu, have some type of heals. Even if it's a healing ultimate, have something to heal yourself, because you can't always count on a random healer to be able to actually know how to run healer. And one of the key things when it comes to really any of the matches in this game, the longer you last, the longer you increase the chances of winning. Because if you're annoying and you're lasting longer and you're not dying as much, you can help your team more. So always have something to heal, and don't just put all your faith in your healer, but trust your healer, if that makes sense. Tip number 6 is one of the more generic ones, and it's one of the ones that nobody likes to hear because I hate doing it too. But if you don't have a healer, you gotta run it. And if you're gonna run healer, actually run some healing jutsu. I at least try to have at least a healing tag, and then you can maybe have something else to attack and then another healing jutsu, depending on the type of match you're doing. If you're doing an attack battle, I feel like, you know, you should have a healing jutsu, your healing tag, and then some type of jutsu that's either going to allow you to get enemies off you, or preferably to grab the scrolls in attack battle. When it comes to really base battle and flag battle, truthfully, you don't really have to have a healing jutsu, but I'd still like to have a healing tag just because you can last a little bit longer, especially when you're running like base battle. You know, just having some type of healing tag just to maintain bases longer. It's just going to make the game go a lot smoother. And when it comes to flag battle, I definitely like using the super weight and boulder or nervous system rupture, things that are going to prevent them from running with the flag. Most of my healer builds for flag battle are usually defending the flag. Tip number 7 is one of my favorite ones, and it's be annoying. And Connor, this is where I give you the build. One of my favorite annoying defense builds, especially for flag and base battle, is going to be a defense build, and you're utilizing the Gentle Fist Body Blow, Snake Thrust, the Cooling Breeze, Emergency Exit, and Sage Mode. This jutsu, this build is so hard to get off the base unless you're getting jumped, but even when you're getting jumped, you can last longer. And this is what I mean when I say be annoying. Counter the jutsus, but also have so much healing stuff or so much life that they can't kill you. It's good, even though it sucks, it's good to get jumped. It's good when they need 2 people to come take you out on a base or to try to come get the flag, because then that opens up your teammates to be able to better get their matches. That's what I usually do. I'll usually occupy a base, or I'll even go back to their home base and I'll occupy it for most of the match, because they're going to constantly have to have their team split up having to deal with me, and it's going to be hard to get me off the base with this build because Susanoo armor, demon hunter, none of these things are going to work with the cooling breeze, and then I'm getting my health back with snake thrust, and then body blow prevents people from just getting combos on me. Be extremely annoying. Like I was running one build, you can see from the clip, I was running a range build and I was just using angelic advent with the moonlit pill and inferno style flame control, and I was holding off 2 team members. They still held the base, but this was a 3 versus 4 match, and it took them nearly the whole match to win it just because I kept 2 of their teammates at one base. Just find ways to be annoying but still win, but also, you know, help your teammates out and spread the team thin. And my last tip is the most generic one there is. Play the objectives and trust your teammates. Of course you gotta play the objectives and trust your teammates, but still run your healing jutsus. And what I mean by that is, like I said, whenever I'm running my base battle builds, I usually occupy 1 or 2 bases, and I trust my teammates to usually get B. I usually never go to B. I usually always go to A, and then I go to C, and I trust my teammates to hold B. Trust your teammates to do what they do. If they lose, then you know, hey, it just was meant to happen. And then also, you know, just make sure you're playing the objective, trying to get the scrolls. Actually playing the match how it's supposed to be played, you know, is a very big thing when it comes to this game. And of course, there's some things that you can't control. Disconnects, I mean, I play on Xbox and there's disconnects all the time. So I mean, if a disconnect happens, it sucks. I know, solo queuing sucks. It's not a fun thing to do. But it also helps you get better, and I mean, sometimes you might find some cool people to play with. But that's gonna be it for today's video, man. Your boy's homeless right now, moving, but once we get things back together, I will have some more videos coming out next week. Got some interesting things. Let me know in the comments how y'all felt about these tips, and if you want to see me do an actual video for each class of a solo queue build that I like to use, I can do that for y'all, and I can break it down and help y'all know how to use it. So let me know in the comments if y'all want to see that. But if you made it this far, you're goated. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you can know whenever I post new videos like this, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Quinn Gang, we up.